is 16th August 2023, the last day of Purushottam Mass. So I'm very happy to see you all. So there are 43 devotees have gathered. Thank you very much. So without much waiting, we will start our all auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam class. In the series it is going on. Let's start with the small kirtan. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udarayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langaite Girim Yakrupatma Mahamande Sri Guru Tinataram Paramananda. Hare Krishna. So, as you all know, this Ashwatthama, this episode is going on, and he has mercilessly killed the children of Pandavas, and he was fled away from the battlefield. Actually, that is also not a quality of a Kshatriya, Apalayanam. So he neither behaved as a Brahmin nor behaved as a Kshatriya. That is a very abominable situation for Ashwatthama. So that was the situation. Now the Supreme Lord ordered Arjuna to chase him and catch and bring him back. So now Arjuna is taking the action now. So we are in this way, first canto, 7th chapter, and 34th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So hope you can able to see. We will do the sloka. Shibiraya Ninishantam.
Shibiraya Ninishantam.
Shibiraya Ninishantam.
Shibiraya Ninishantam.
Rajva Bhadva Ripumbalat.
Rajva Badva Ripumbalat.
Rajva Bhadva Ripumbalat.
Rajva Badva Ripumbalat.
Praharjunam Prakupito.
Praharjunam Prakupito.
Praharjunam Prakupito.
Praharjunam Prakupito.
Bhagavan Ambujekshanaha.
Bhagavan Ambuja Ikshanaha.
Bhagavan Ambujekshanaha.
Bhagavan Ambuja Ikshanaha.
Thank you, Mataji. Word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Shibiraya, on the way to the military camp. Ninishantam, while bringing him, Rajva by the ropes, Bhatva, bound up, Ripum, the enemy, Balat, by force, Praha, said, Arjuna, onto Arjuna, Prakupitaha, in an angry mood, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Ambuja Ikshanaha, who looks with his lotus eyes. Translation. After binding Aswatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Purport. Both Arjuna and Lord Sri Krishna are described here in an angry mood. But Arjuna's eyes were like balls of red copper, whereas the eyes of the Lord were like lotuses. This means that the angry mood of Arjuna and that of the Lord are not on the same level. The Lord is transcendence, and thus he is absolute in any stage. His anger is not like the anger of a conditioned living being within the three modes of qualitative material nature. Because he is absolute, both his anger and pleasure are the same. His anger is not exhibited in the three modes of material nature. It is only a sign of his bent of mind towards the cause of his devotees, because that is his transcendental nature. Therefore, even if he is angry, the object of anger is blessed. He is unchanged in all circumstances. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता च विशाखान्वितां च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु मे तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे शिबिराय निनिशान्तं रज्वा भद्रा रिपुंबलात् प्रहारार्जुनं प्रकोपितो भगवान् अम्बुजेक्षणः. So, after binding Aswatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp. The personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, looking on with his lotus eyes, spoke to Arjuna in an angry mood. Okay. So here we can understand that after chasing and because Arjuna was in a full angry mood, he was infused with a lot of distress because he had lost the children who were mercilessly killed by Ashwatthama. So actually, Kshatriya should be able to show his prowess and not simply, uh, indirectly attacking on the enemies when they are sleeping, when they are surrender, and when they are in a helpless condition. We are not supposed to kill him. So here, this Ashwatthama, he was. He wanted to, please his boss, and he wanted to take revenge, and somehow, he got misused the power of Brahmastra. And he did not know even how to retract the Brahmastra also. But here, you see the quality of Arjuna here. But this episode is very wonderful here. All the Pandavas and how Draupadi reacted to the situation, and how Arjuna um, also took action against the culprit. Now, after binding Ashwatthama, Arjuna wanted to take him to the military camp and not to anywhere else. So he would have killed Ashwatthama then and there itself. But he did not do that because he wanted to do everything with the approval of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So this is the surrender of a soul to the Supreme Person. So we also do so many things, but we never keep anybody's suggestion, nobody's advice we take. So here Arjuna is fully Krishna consciousness. So anything he does it in with full Krishna consciousness. Even before killing or before chasing, before arresting Ashwatthama, he took Krishna's permission. Actually, Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna before this incident happened. So after seeing the both side of the parties of the military, Arjuna, he almost got fainted and he didn't want to fight anymore. So then Krishna came into the picture and he spoke Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters, 700 verses, something like that. Then Arjuna got enlightened and he started to fight. But there again, he, in several situations, he became helpless and the Supreme Lord Krishna helped him. And there, time to time, he guided him properly. So whom to kill, whom to injure, and whom to shoot arrows, those things very nicely Krishna explained him. So the same thing when we consider for our present day, like in Kali Yuga, we are in 2023, and we also need guidance. And that's why we need to take shelter of a guru from a bona fide parampara. Then our real bhakti life will start. So it is not that we simply take uh, initiation from a guru and it is only for fashion sake we take and we do not care later on, or we whimsically behave on our own. This all will not help us for our spiritual life. Maybe materially we can lead a happy life, but that will not help us because in this material world there is no happiness actually. So here Arjuna, he did not kill Ashwatthama. There he wanted to bring him in front of Krishna and let Krishna take the action. And he wants to be the executor only. He wants to act as an instrument in the hands of Krishna. We also should be the instruments in the hands of Guru and Krishna, and we should not take our own decisions independently. So we should be in Krishna consciousness always, in the sense, in day-to-day life, whatever situation we come across, immediately we should pray for the lordships. That's why immediately we take the higher authority. Normally, materially also, when we talk about a person who is working in an office or a business premises, when he comes in any crisis, he will approach next higher authority. But next higher authority, they are not Krishna consciousness. They may not be able to help them. Maybe materially they can guide for some time. It looks like everything is fine. But later again, so many problems will come. Chaos will happen. But if you take the supreme authority's advice, and everything is peacefully settled, and we will not have to trouble ourselves. Okay. So another point I want to mention here. Krishna is angry with the people who harm his devotees. If anybody is hurting Krishna directly, he does not mind it because we are all children of the Lord only. He knows how to do, what to do. For example, Bhrigu Maharshi came and he directly went to the Vaikuntha and he kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu. But how was the reaction of Lord Vishnu? So he was so peaceful, and even he took the feet of the Bhrigu Muni and he massaged and he begged forgiveness actually. Oh, oh Sadhu, oh Muni, and your feet is so tender like rose or lotus, and my chest is like very hot. After you kick it on my chest, whether your feet got hurt, let me massage your feet. Then he got really, shocked. He did not expect this kind of reaction, this kind of reciprocation from the Supreme Lord. So that is the Lord. So the point to understand here is, if anybody is insulting or hurting or killing Lord's devotees, Lord will not tolerate. He will come and take the action against them immediately. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskrutam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So that's why devotees are so special for Krishna. So, but to become a devotee, we need to develop all the Vaishnava qualities, and not just simply, wearing tilak and kantimala and dhoti kurta and chanting. So it externally it appears like a devotee, but he has got a lot of reservations and comfort zones. And so if anybody serves Krishna with love and affection, then he will become a nice devotee. Then Krishna comes always for his rescue. Okay, so there is one abbreviation like lust, anger, and greed. So this lust, anger, greed, they are the most problematic elements in our Krishna consciousness. We cannot able to control these things, but they come often and often, and they disturb us, and we also disturb others, and thereby we lost a lot of relationships and disappointment. So the point understanding is we need to be in Krishna consciousness, and we use these things for Krishna's purpose. For example, Hanuman used his anger for the service of the Lord. He set Lanka into the fire. So here Arjuna also, he fought this Kurukshetra war for the sake of Krishna and not his own wants. Actually, if Arjuna had to do anything, he would not have fought at all. That was the decision he took in the beginning of Kurukshetra war. So later Krishna gave him Hitopadesha by speaking Bhagavad Gita. Then he got enlightened. So similarly, in our life also, we should take shelter of a guru, and under his spiritual master guidance, we should follow his instructions and read Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and do the service. And we can never hurt, or we should never insult any devotees or even in non-devotees also. Okay. Then what else? Okay, the purport, a few points I will extract. So here, the Supreme Lord is mentioning, here, Prabhupada is mentioning, our anger and the Supreme Lord anger, they are not equal. They are, different actually. So it appears like Krishna is angry, but his lotus eyes, still they are blooming. And externally, it looks like somewhat, but it is, uh, very charming. And for Lord, this modes, yesterday Rathayatra Anand Prabhu was explaining the three modes in the afternoon 2 p.m. session. We are under the jurisdiction of these three modes of material nature, but they cannot affect any more of the Supreme Lord, because the Lord has created these three modes of material nature. So by the mercy of the Lord and by the blessings of Guru, we can easily transcend these three modes of material nature. So Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabditam. So being in Sattvaguna is also material only, because being in Sattvaguna, they are bound by the qualities of, happiness, knowledge, and wisdom. Thereby, they feel a kind of happiness. But that kind of happiness bind them in the material world. That's why if anybody is in Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name of the Lord, reading Gita Bhagavatam, and they can easily transcend Mama Maya Duratyaye, Mam Yevaye Prapadyante, Mayam Yatam Tarantite. So only by serving Krishna, we can able to surpass all these modes of material nature. Okay, so we have done with these words. maybe we will eagerly waiting for the next speakers and what's going to happen in this punishment to Ashwatthama. Okay, so thank you very much. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So I welcome all of you.